Hi, this is Gabe. Welcome back to part 2 of this video where we're going to make the pen. I know I said I was going to use white acrylic, but when I started turning this down, you can see it started chipping away when I was trying to thread it, so that means that this stuff is made out of the exact same crap this is. So anyway, this is garbage. We can't use that. So instead, I switched back to Old Faithful, went back to acrylic. So since black goes with everything, that's what we're going to do. So this is more of a proof of concept anyway, so I don't know if I'll like the way it looks, but at least I know when I make the components out of ebonite, these are good. These are really good, and I like using ebonite anyway, so it's a win-win. Okay, so I'm going to be using a Schmidt ceramic rollerball, and that's a little bit different than the Parker rollerball. So this I've drawn out to scale. Instead of having a 1-inch section, I'm shortening that down to 7/8 of an inch. Total overall length is 1 7/8 inch. This is still 5/8 inch right here. And you can see the inside dimensions. I've drawn that out, and it's to scale. So it's 1/4 inch drill bit, 1 1/4 inch long. So that's how long that's going to be from here to there. So in the Jacob's chuck, I have a 1/4 inch drill bit, and that is marked to 1 1/4 inches, which is just at this point right there. Okay, let's take a look at that Schmidt rollerball. So this body is 1/4 of an inch. Then we're going to step down to an 11/64 in the middle, and that is this spot right there, and that is 3/16 of an inch long. So this is my drill bit right here, 11/64, and then I need to mark that at 3/16 of an inch. Okay, so now it's kind of hard to mark this. Like, I have the drill bit marked 3/16 of an inch right here, but that doesn't help you when you push it inside, because obviously you can't see it. So we need to do a little something different. You need to adjust that where I got a good flat surface where I can see it right there. So when I bottom out on the inside, I'm going to mark it there, and then I'm going to mark it again 3/16 of an inch behind that. Okay, so now you can see I have 2 marks. This is where it starts on the inside like that, and then that's where it will end. So you can see that that is a 3/16 for that middle section. So now I'm touching. Okay, now I have a 7/64 regular drill bit. I don't have that in a brad point. My brad point's the smallest it goes to is 1/8. So I'm just going to run that all the way through the back end. Make it a little bit longer. Okay, so we did this part here on camera, and then we drilled all this out. So off camera, I just completed the rest of that because it's just turning on the outside. And you can see what that looks like. And that's pretty much to scale. So not quite as exaggerated right there, but still pretty attractive. So we'll just test this out. And you can see how that looks. That looks really good. So we're going to go on to the next step. So for the cap, the next thing we need to do is we need to make a component. We're going to be stepping it down like this, but I am not going to be making the whole thing because it's all acrylic, it's not wood. So I only need about 3/8 of an inch from here back. So at least a 1/2 inch or through maybe 5/8 of an inch total length from here to here. I may make it longer, but we'll see. But it needs to be at least a 1/2 inch for the threads on the inside. And this is that right here. When that goes inside, you can see how that would fit inside there all the way. So that's why that needs to be a certain diameter in order for that to fit inside. And then for the lower part, we need to do the exact same thing for right here for the cap body threads, and 1/4 inch, maybe 3/8 from here. So I don't have to do the whole thing, just a small amount. And then we'll just drill out the body accordingly to accept these. So this will be quick work. So if we take a look at the inside of a cap, this is one of my caps that I messed up on the body. So rather than trying to make a new body, I wasn't happy with the way the cap came out. So I just cut it in half. And now it's a template for me that I can use for my learning. So anyway, you can see what this looks like right here on the inside. So you can see how that would fit and why this needs to be a 1/2 inch in order to fit inside here. This is 11/32, just a little bit more than a 1/2 inch. And then, like I said, this is 3/8 right here, so that needs to fit inside there for the 3/8. And anyway, now that you understand the concept of why that is done that way, that should make things a little bit easier later. So starting out with the body, I just want to drill this all the way through with an 11/32. And 11/32 is the inside diameter of the threads. The outside diameter of this shank is 27/64. So I have another drill bit for 27/64. I'm only going to go in about 3/8 of an inch on both sides. And you can see a little bit of a step on there on both sides. So that is done. Now we're going to go to the cap. So for the cap, I still want to use the basic layout of this right here, even though this is going to be 7/8 of an inch. There's still a bit of a gap right here. So I want to make the cap a little bit longer, just in case a customer wants to use a 1-inch section instead of a 7/8 inch section. So, and wants to make it a roller ball, or not a roller ball, but a fountain. So it gives me a little bit more flexibility if the cap is longer. So this is, I'm going to use the same basic layout as this right here. And you can see what that looks like. I have a couple of lines right here drawn out. This is a 1/2 inch drill bit. So if I just use a 7/8 inch section, this would be my line right here that I would go with. But if I go with a 1 inch section, then I need to go back a little bit further. But just for flexibility's sake, I'm going to use a 1 inch. So I'm going to make another line here and then drill this out that deep instead. I've got a mark about a 1/2 inch away that I want to go in. This is with an 19/32. So this is the outside diameter right here, 19/32. I've got a mark 19/32 right here. So with the ebonite, I'm just gonna make a piece from here forward, which will hold my threads, and then that will just insert inside the acrylic. And once I glue that, it will be airtight. And then on the back side, I'm using a 29/64. This is the outside diameter. The inside is 3/8 of an inch. So this is a 29/64 drill bit right here. And I'm just going to clean that blank out all the way. It's probably only a 1/2 inch or so before that gets cleaned out. And that's what our blank looks like. And this will fit inside like that, but remember, this is only drilled on the inside to accept the 29/64 right there like that. So that'll stop right about there. And then this goes on the other end. And this is why I make patterns. It's good to have these on hand. I've got drawings and I've got PDFs, but in a glance, this is always good to have, because accessing a computer isn't always the funnest thing to do when I'm busy. And then, you know, this is just so much quicker, but that's just my personal opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you like this or not, if this helps. And then we'll just make these little components here next. Okay, so off camera, I turned this piece down. This is for the body cap connection. This is threaded on the inside for the 10x075 tap. This is a 14mm triple start right here, which I got from Turner's Warehouse. I'll put a link in the description. And then I need to turn this down, step that back like this, and turn that down to a 27/64. I have my calipers already set, so we'll just do that next, putting this in my homemade mandrel, my triple start mandrel. And then we'll cut that from here back. That looks good. Okay, this is for the top of the pin or the cap. That looks good. All right, I have this drilled out to 33/64 to about this depth here, which is about 3/4 of an inch. And then I want to go in close to a half an inch or so with this 3/4 inch, or excuse me, this 14 millimeter tap and die. I'm going to tighten this up a little bit because I just drilled that out. That got warm, so when you drill it out, it gets warm, it expands, so it doesn't cut so well. I mean, it cuts good, but the grooves, you can make them a little bit deeper, and it threads better by putting a hose clamp on it. That's a lot better. A little tight still, but I think when I put a little lubricant on that, that'll work. (33/64). I want to turn from here down to here, this diameter. Okay, these are the components for the cap. That's threaded on the inside to receive the body. That's dimpled for that. For the end, like that right there. The body, this is the other section here. This goes in here like that. This end's dimpled, and that goes in there. And believe it or not, it actually takes longer to turn these components separately than it would than if I turned the one piece down in one piece. So, food for thought. Okay, I've got these components glued up. This is the cap, this is the body. So if I take my little stick here, this is the inside dimensions for the cap that I want. And I'm just a little bit beyond that, which is right about here to that line. So that's good. And then for the body, I should be close to this right here. And I'm body mount, and I'm just a little short. So I'm a little long on one side and a little short on the other. and that goes to that depth right there on that line as well. So we're in the ballpark. So the next thing we need to do is just to turn this down. So this is the mandrel's already set up for the cap. And remember, this is drilled out on the inside 33/64. So this is a 14 millimeter triple start. This is triple start mandrel. Thread that on. Alright, this is what the cap looks like with a little bit of further sanding and just some CA on it. I haven't done the micro mesh yet, but you can see the interior right there from the first, looks like extrusion or something, and then there's multiple extrusion rings here and here. Kind of interesting looking, but the cross grain direction I think is really unique, and that looks pretty cool. So the body is just going to be pretty much the same process of turning, so I'm just going to do that off camera, and then we'll come right back as soon as this is done. Okay, at the lathe I'm moving over to some blue polishing compound. This stuff here I picked up at Harbor Freight, and I have a clean cloth on here for this. Now this one here I got polished with micro mesh, but it still has some scratches with the black ebonite. So I'm going to charge the wheel with this and then run it through here with this blue compound, and that'll clean that up and brighten that up quite a bit. One of the other things I'd like to say is, besides this came out looking pretty good, use your mandrel to protect your threads while you're polishing, because that will destroy your threads. We're back. I got this assembled, and after the polish you can see what that looks like. That's the body, obviously. This is the cap. Remember, this is a triple start 14 millimeter tap and die, and that really complements that. Kind of an illusion the way that looks, I think, and it looks pretty cool. I'm kind of happy with the way this turned out. I wasn't going to do a clip on this one just because this is kind of like a prototype, and I wasn't really sure how stable this is going to be. I think it's pretty fragile, quite honestly, because of the type of plastic that is. And I think if I dropped it, it would just fall apart. So I hope I don't drop this. But yeah, pretty excited with the way this one came out. Like I said, just pretty much just a proof of concept. But I like the way it feels. It's very light. And if you like this, again, give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment in the comments below. So thanks again. Hope you like it. Have a great day. Hey, this is Gabriel Castro. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. You can click on the link right here and subscribe. You can watch a video series right here or the latest video right here.